You pretend everything's normal, but deep inside, a voice whispers, "This world is too perfect, too fast, too fragile. Something is about to break." They'll tell you civilizations collapse when they get weak. That's a lie. They collapse when they become too perfect, too optimized, too complex, so complex that not even their creators understand them anymore. And that's exactly where we are right now. If you're still here, it means you can feel it too. Welcome to Power Timelines. Once you see the trail of power, you won't be able to unsee it again. Let's follow it from the beginning. Why did the first civilizations form? Not for glory, not for kings, but because people were afraid of chaos. Alone, they starved. Together, they survived. So they built systems, food storage, shared laws, shared gods, shared enemies. That was the first step. Then came writing, not for poetry, but to record debt. Who owes grain? Who owns land? Who pays tax? Our entire civilization was born not from philosophy, but accounting. Then things got better, too much better. Farmers produced extra food made specialists, specialists made inventions, inventions made cities, cities made empires. Sounds perfect, right? But here's the catch. More food means more people means more laws means more officers, more systems means more complexity. More complexity means no one understands how the whole thing works anymore. And when nobody understands the system, nobody can fix it when it breaks. That is how civilizations really fall. Not with swords, with spreadsheets, with shortages, with systems too big to repair. Rome didn't fall because barbarians were strong. Rome fell because its roads, laws, taxes, grain supply, military, slaves, bureaucracy became a machine too complex to manage. One drought, one mistake, one debt, and the whole thing cracked. The same pattern repeated with the Mayans, the Ottomans, the Soviet Union: success, complexity, blindness, collapse. The more problems they solved, the more fragile they became. And now? We've solved more problems than any civilization in history. We cured diseases, we replaced muscle with machines, we replaced thinking with algorithms. We fly to space, we scroll through infinite worlds in our palms. But tell me, does the world feel stable to you? Or does it feel like a glass tower, perfectly designed, beautiful, and one tremor away from breaking? Because everything is connected now. Economy, energy, AI, war, water, your job, my voice. One system fails, everything shatters. And here's the most dangerous part. The system is now too complex for any single human to understand. Not presidents, not billionaires, not AI. We built a machine smarter than us, and now we're praying it doesn't malfunction. And yet this isn't the end. This is only the moment before the drop. You've noticed it, haven't you? The smartest people on Earth are trying to leave it. Not because Earth is unlivable, but because it's becoming uncontrollable. That's why Elon Musk talks about Mars. Not as a dream, but as an escape hatch. A lifeboat quietly being built while the ship still looks unsinkable. But here's what nobody says out loud. If we can't manage one planet, why do we think we can manage two? Mars won't save us from ourselves. It will only export our collapse to another world. And while we look at the stars, something else is rising here. Quietly, patiently. Artificial intelligence. People think AI will kill jobs. No, it will kill control. For the first time in history, we built something that learns faster than the system that created it. AI doesn't get tired. AI doesn't need food, water, land, identity, or meaning. AI doesn't riot. AI doesn't vote. And that makes it useful. Dangerously useful. Governments will use it to stay in power. Corporations will use it to remove workers. Banks will use it to control money. And slowly, without anyone noticing, humans will stop being necessary. Not because AI hates humans, but because systems don't keep what they don't need. And while this happens, the economy, your economy, is suffocating under its own success. Debt used to build things, roads, schools, empires. Now debt exists to pay for more debt. Countries borrow to survive one more year. People borrow to live one more month. Banks lend money that doesn't exist. Governments print value that isn't real. Inflation isn't rising, reality is decaying. Civilization has reached its peak complexity, and like every system before collapse, it feels unstoppable right before it stops. So what happens next? Not apocalypse, not explosion, not chaos in one day. Collapse is quieter. It feels like more rules, more passwords, more debts, more burnout, less meaning. People don't scream, they sigh. They don't revolt, they numb themselves. They don't die dramatically, they fade. Empires don't end with wars, they end with forgetting. You don't notice the moment an empire falls. You notice when people stop caring it ever existed. But you're still listening, which means you care. You can feel the trail. So what now? What do you do? When the world is too complex to be fixed, too connected to be stable, and too successful to survive, you remember this. Fragile things break when pressured. Anti-fragile things grow when threatened. Civilizations collapse. But people who can step outside the story, see the system, read the timelines, they don't collapse with it. They adapt. They build new systems. They become the first citizens of what comes after the fall. Most people will forget this video in an hour. They'll go back to their screens, their debt, their distractions. They'll wait for someone else to fix the system. But not you. Because now you've seen it. The pattern every empire repeats: success, complexity, blindness, collapse. And if you can see the pattern, you don't collapse with it. You evolve before it breaks. This isn't the end of the story. This is the part right before the fall. And the world is quietly choosing who survives it and who gets buried beneath it. So the only question left is, will you keep scrolling or will you keep following the trail? This is Power Timelines. Power leaves a trail. The next chapter is already being written. Don't miss it. Let me know when you want visuals, voice pacing, or part 2.